Hey everybody, my name is Albert Corey, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Success Academy. My name is Albert Corey, if you don't know, and I've been assisting small business owners to increase their business with less capital and cash flow, increase their cash flow to increase their dreams. Today's module, we're going to talking about why you need to open up your corporation or LLC. You see, it's probably one of the most important things you need to do when you get the business started. In my opinion, it should be the first thing that you start to do to get done. Now, the two topics we're going to go over is today is one is how it will help you stand out in a noisy world. And the second part is it's very important when it comes to the liability of you and your business. All right, so now on with the show. So the first thing we're going to talk about why you open up your corporation or LLC is guess what? You need to stand out in a noisy world. There's thousands and thousands of sole proprietors and businesses every day that are opening. A lot of people are going door to door. But when you open up this company, you're going to start to stand out. When you start handing out a business card, you can say president on the card. Right now, this is going to stand out. You see, when somebody else can come out there and they start to do it, they can't say the same thing. Let me tell you a couple of good examples of this. I've seen it plenty of times when I went to go help somebody and they want to know the accounting services that they'd only work with businesses. Guess what? They'd only work with businesses. I can tell you of a bunch of companies, like a lot of those virtual assistant companies, they will not work with people. Part of, and that we're going to go in the second time, you need to have a company. So that's one reason why you have to open up a company or LLC, because there's plenty of industries that will not let you do it. The other thing is you will stand out in a noisy world. So if let's give you an example as a painter. Okay. If you're a painter and you go give an estimate to the house, and now you get the other guy who who goes out doing an estimate. Did you know there's a lot of people go out there, then you're going to check to see if you're a company, that they're only going to work with companies. And this even gets bigger. The bigger the job, the more important they want to work with companies. They won't work with the little guy. In my tax office, I've seen it so many times that they will not work with personal people. So part of it is when you open up a company, you should try to make the name. It's not that that's that important, but the name should always match with what you're doing. Now, obviously, a workaround this could be if you put services at the end or management at the end. But if you're a good example is a painter and you start to paint a 2 or 3 story building, or somebody who could be a little picky, they want to see Hialeah painting. I mean, I live in Hialeah, so they want to see Hialeah painting services. They do not want to see, Blue Shoes Inc. Who do you write the check to? Blue Shoes Inc. They won't accept it. Companies why they won't accept it is that people who are doing the accounting will only write a check to the type of company that you're doing. So if you're a painting company and I put Hialeah painting, you're going to get paid on the painting. But if it was Blue Shoes, chances are you might not get the job, and for sure the accounting office will not let you pay the job. Now, the second and probably the most important thing is why you need to open up an LLC is now once it's opened up and you register it with the state and do everything correctly, it will never tie back to you. Which means is now that it's open, we already talked about how you start to stand out. Now, once you start to stand out, okay, people are going to go, if it's a bigger job, they're going to go on your state division of corporation. They're going to go check you out. Okay, they're going to go check you out. And they want to make sure that you're in business. And obviously, the longer you're in business, the longer they're going to like you and a better chance of you getting a job. So another reason why you want to open up a corporation or an LLC is before you start is you will not have no personal liability, meaning that they could never track anything back to you. The value of the company, I'm not a legal person, so this is just learning from my vast years of experience. So you open up the business. Here's a good example of this is you open up your business, you then go rent an office, excuse me, or a warehouse. You rent a warehouse and then all of a sudden business goes bad and you have to close. Well, if they once you close the business, then they can only go after the assets of your company, which means is if you have no money in the bank, okay, they cannot come after you directly. They can only go after the assets of the company, which if you have nothing, and you're just starting out, you just rented a warehouse or something or a store and you close, or you don't, God forbid, you don't pay for that material, and you hang a person, they cannot come back for you. A couple of good examples of this is if somebody slips and falls. Okay, somebody slips and falls in Walmart, our big box store. They cannot come back. They could sue the company, but they can't go back and do the shareholders because once you open up the company, technically you're going to write a paper out, and we're going to go over this in one of the next modules. That once you open up the company, okay, you're going to go make an operating agreement of the shareholders. And now, once you have this operating agreement, it's going to be very hard for somebody who sues your company or LLC to tie it back. So that's the reason that's the reason why is liability and they cannot tie back to the owners. Let's recap today's lesson is why you need to open up a corporation of LLC. The first one is that you want to stand out in a noisy world. There could be some businesses or professions that will not work with individuals. So therefore, by opening it up, they will start to work for you. And there could be some times where, if like say you're a painter, that they won't come only work with you. They only work with businesses. So that's why you want to open it up, because there could be a time where you put in the bid and the bid is closed. People feel more comfortable working with companies. And now the other part is why you open up. We're doing a recap here is liability. When you open up your corporation or LLC, they cannot tie it back to you. And this could be important whenever, whenever something goes south, they can't come back to you. Well, that's it for today's module. Please take some notes. Hopefully you took some good notes. If any questions, you can always go in our Facebook group and ask them, and I'm here to answer them for you. For now, this is Albert Corey. Thank you for this module on Entrepreneurial Success Academy. And please watch the other two sections on why to open up corporations. Thank you.